Hello, this is Stacy Lyle. I am going to do a quick cover of my resume so you can see a background about me. I graduated from high school doing land surveying. Did that for 2 years before I entered college. I went to college and did a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering Technology, focusing on land surveying. I worked at the university while I was there in the physics and math tutoring lab. Also was the lab person in charge of the equipment and helping out with labs in my senior year with the land surveying classes. I also worked for a engineering company in Atlanta called Columbia Engineering, where I did a lot of the early CAD stuff back in the early 80s, setting up their CAD systems. I graduated and I went to work offshore for a hydrographic surveying company called Wimpole. I worked there for about 2.5 years, and then I went to work at Texas A&M University for their ocean drilling program offshore, and I started my master's in civil engineering. I didn't like civil engineering anymore. I wanted to do computer science. I came back to Georgia where I worked getting more experience for my RPLS examination. And I surveyed for about 2 years. Did a stint over in Africa for a while where I was searching for a wrecked airplane offshore, doing more hydrographic work. I did my master's in computer science. At the same time, I did an internship with the National Geodetic Survey and NOAA. I then also went to work for a company called Leica Geosystems. I was a GPS and photogrammetry specialist working in their support and software division there in Atlanta, Georgia. I moved up in different positions there, and I finished my master's. My master's thesis was searching for errors and lines of code for RTK algorithms, based on the work that we were doing there at Leica. My final job with Leica was the director of machine automation division, and that also included the infrastructure division for networks and base stations. One of the last projects I did was work with Leica to take its GPS technology and put it on a chip with IBM. So basically we made a 40 channel GPS RTK receiver back in '99 that went on a silicone germanium chip the size of a stamp. And then I left them and went back to do my PhD, and I did that in geography. Was very interested in the GIS aspect of things. My PhD dissertation was focusing on direct georeferencing images from digital cameras. As a digital video camera took frames, I knew the exact exposure location based on sending RTK up to 50 kilometers away to the aircraft so that I could directly georeference the data. I then came to Texas A&M University in Corpus Christi. It took me a while to finish my PhD. I was working and doing my PhD. About 2 years later, a year and a half later, I finished up my PhD work. But I then did 2 internships with NASA and worked on them. And then I had a SBIR, which is a Small Business Integrative Small Business Innovative Research Grant. Get that out. And I'm trying to talk as fast as I can. And so then I had that. We did some work. That got published. Did really well with that. Did a lot of stuff with HypeMod. Still doing stuff with HypeMod. Doing stuff with the Navy. Doing stuff with the National Geodetic Survey, National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Mainly GPS, mapping, surveying. Now I do a lot of expert witness on court cases. Somewhere down the lines, I got my license in the state of Georgia, and I got my license here in the state of Texas. So that's a quick brunch of my resume. I encourage you to keep up your resume and work on it and learn more about it. All right, thanks.